What we need is some concrete ideas for how to get young people on board, how to make them active partners, not only beneficiaries, in implementing the program for action of the ICT. 70 youth organizations in our countries, they came together to voice what they think is important to be included, and they put concretely some recommendations for the review process and for what we need to be done beyond 2014. Starting with the situation of education, we are talking about a serious issue about access to quality education. It's very easy to many to talk about access to education because it's not the issue about having a young person sitting in a classroom. It's more about whether they really learn or they will not learn. Urgent shifts that this region needs to do quickly. The second, look into the employment. And here I talk about economic empowerment, not only employment, in the sense that many million jobs need to be created in the coming few years. And governments alone will not be able to do that, or private sector. It's more about joining forces, building partnerships, but also about economic empowerment in the sense allowing young entrepreneurs to be able to access opportunities and financial services that are tailored for young people, and making sure that the legal framework is supportive for young people to establish their own businesses. At least if governments cannot create all these jobs for everyone, let's make the life of young people easier in terms of creating their own job opportunities. This is one of the second shifts that need to be done. A third, when it comes to participation. We cannot talk about youth without youth. We cannot talk about the population without population. We cannot talk about legitimate and valid policies without involving the citizens. Now it's time to move from protests to institution, from the squares to the parliaments. And to do that shift, you need to make the institution more user-friendly and to allow the different processes to involve and engage young people. Another issue is the issue of health. We're talking health in the broader term, but also the health and the mandate of issues that are included in the ICT review process. And I think we need a breakthrough to make sure that we are more progressive in the way that we address youth issues by providing not only services, but also information. They need to provide more youth-friendly services when it comes to reproductive health and sexual education as well. It's the issue of young people in the conflict zones. Seeing now how many conflict zones in this region, and for any new review process, any program of action for the future, need to put into high consideration, give enough emphasis for the issue of youth in conflict zone. They are not only risking themselves and risking a generation and lose that, we will lose it, I mean, in conflict time, with no education, no proper job opportunities, but also a big challenge of causing psychological damage for young people. The call of action that was launched today by young people need to be responded to by action, not by promises. Young people are ready. They cannot be more ready than this. They just came together and they put all their ideas to be involved in this process. There's no excuses not to bring them out.